Welcome back to Sendology 101. The Viper is in the air, but the transmission is in. I got it in about 3 weeks ago. Everything's good. I've done quite a few runs in it at this point. We're about to hit 70,000 miles, which means I will have almost put 1,000 miles on it since I've got it. The only reason it's up in the air right now is I am changing out the oxygen sensors before I do a tune. I'm going to add a wideband sensor so we can check it out. It's running a bit rich, probably oxygen sensors just before. You might as well get some fresh ones in there. I did have a little bit of an issue with the driver side oxygen sensor. It seemed to have been in there somewhat cross-threaded. I did clean the threads up as best as possible. I may have to go in and have a new bung welded. We're going to check. I think I've got it in there, but if it starts to leak, well, then I will take it to a shop and have a new bung welded in place. But for now, it's running good. It will be running better soon. So that's the update on the Viper. It's still a Viper. I'm still very satisfied with it. Now, the next project that I have on hand is, you can see the engine from the green SRT4 is out of the car, transmission sitting over there, and the head is off. Now, this is the head that I picked up last year. Now, if you've been on the channel for any length of time and watched this build progress, you know that there was a head fiasco. This is the one that I picked up last year to just get the car together and running. It is non-ported. It just has BC valve springs. Well, the head that I had the scam doctor or the port doctor, Josh, do, they finally came back, and then I sent it off to a machine shop here in town to get fixed, and they diddle just... There are previous videos on that. However, I sent that head off to All Motor Mike in Arizona for him to take a look at to see if he could save. And between Josh's work and the machinist here in town's work, the head is basically unsalvageable. So, lesson learned. I should have had it done at one place. I should have waited, because here we are 3 years later, basically, and I'm having to redo the whole thing. I should have just had DCR do it if I was doing it, from the start, or All Motor Mike, which is what I'm doing. I have another head at his shop. He is going to be porting it, a good mild street port for what I am doing. And then I have a set of Crower, not BC, but Crower Stage 3s that will be going back in that once he is done, which will probably be around the February time frame. I will also be resealing the bottom end. I am getting rid of this windage tray, which caused a little bit of trouble when it came to sealing the bottom end. It's not like I really need that windage tray. I'll be keeping the windage tray, but the crank scraper I will be getting rid of. I want to be able to better seal the bottom end with a factory gasket, and I'm also changing the rear main seal. But yeah, so far I'll be keeping the same Turbo Bay Stage 3 turbo setup that I have sitting here. Beautiful turbo. Maybe next year we'll go with something larger, but for now, I think I'm going to stick with it. It's a beautiful turbo, and if I do go larger, it will also be a Turbo Bay turbo. So that's where we're at on the swapped car. It will be pushing more power when it is done again. So that's the update on that. Here is the Challenger. The Challenger, I haven't done anything to except for gave it a much needed clean and paint correction. and new wax job because it had been several years at this point since I had done that. So it is looking good. It's looking real good. And I have to say, I drove it today. It's been a while, so I had to get some of the carbon out, and it's just stupid. This car is dumb. It's got it's that supercharger on top just knows when to go, I have to say. There'll be some changes to this one here in the next year or so as I go forward, but that's kind of where we're at the beginning of 2025. Obviously, we still have the SRT4 restoration job that I have not touched basically since I picked up the Viper. I will be working on it again soon. Get it buttoned up. Hopefully here in 2025, I will at least get it on the road in 2025. That's the plan. A couple other projects that we've got going on will be adding a cup holder to the Viper for long trips. I am also, I don't have the block off plate, but I will be adding a block off plate to this for the stereo because who needs a radio when you have a V10? I mean, seriously, do you really need a radio when you have a V10? I'm going to say the answer is no. At least not for this car. So that's where we're at here in 2025, the beginning of 2025. So we will see where we get by the end of 2025. I would like to do the interchiller system, get it buttoned up and on this car so that we can run better temperatures. I have to say, compared to the Magnuson that was on it, the Edelbrock 2650 is just a better running, cooler running supercharger than the old one. So, goals for 2025. Ported head and Crowler Stage 3s on the SRT4 swap. The Viper, basically getting it ready for road trips. That's the goal for this one. The engine swap, that maybe this year, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the engine swap. I would prefer to prepare for it over 2025 and get this factory engine up to par. I found, and these are not exactly easy to find, a set of heads for a Generation 2 Viper that will pair with that engine. I will be sending those to All Motor Mike to have him go over them. There's a little bit of damage. They'll get them resurfaced. Probably a mild port job, maybe standard size valves, because again, this is a factory engine. I'm not looking to cam it or anything like that. But when I do pull the engine that is currently in the Viper, maybe we'll do a little bit of a build. But to go back with something that's got, 10 to 20 more horsepower, 30 more horsepower than factory would be awesome in this car. It really is something fun that I enjoy driving, and I don't need to go insane with it. So that's the plan for the Viper over 2025. To kind of reiterate on the Challenger, not a whole bunch, at least wrap up a few things. Maybe change the wheels out, I don't know. Once I clean them up, they still looked really good, so maybe I'll keep with those. And then at least get this thing driving in 2025. At least getting it driving. That's a tall order for my time and skill level, shall we say. But yeah, that's it for this quick update in 2025. Let's do some cool stuff. Maybe add another project car that I don't need. Don't. And obviously some cleaning. I'm doing a little bit of reorganizing of parts. We added shelves in the other little shop, so let's get some organization so that I can be more productive with my time out here. But that's it. That's my update here at Sendology 101. We'll catch you next time. If you have any questions about any of the project cars or suggestions, maybe leave them down in the comments below, and I will answer them as I have time. We'll catch you in the next one.